Welcome at SAP Sapphire. I'm here in The Hague for the regional event and I brought the SAP Podcar to collect real-life customer stories. And today at the keynote I found out about the collaboration between SAP and the Mercedes EQ team, their Formula E World Champion team. And they use data to the max. And to find out more, I'm here joined at the SAP Podcar by Ian James, the team manager. Welcome to the SAP Podcar. First of all, Ian, congratulations on winning last weekend.
Thank you very much indeed. It was a phenomenal weekend in Berlin. We've just come straight from there to here at the Sapphire event in The Hague. So it's been a great couple of days. Brilliant to see Nick back up on the top step again on Sunday. And obviously Stoffel was up on the podium twice in third place. So important points for the team and a good weekend all in all.
Good for the motivation as well.
Huge for the motivation. So yeah, we're leading both the drivers and the team's championship at the moment in the standings, but we're only halfway through the season. And Formula E is one of those sports where you never really know just what's coming next. So we've got a long way to go, but we're in a strong position at the moment.
You have to be very agile to match all the challenges that you face.
Very much so. Yeah.
Also, when you mentioned the last race and you're going to the next race in Jakarta, right?
Correct. Yes.
So how do you challenge? Or how do you fight all those time zones challenges?
Yeah, it's been interesting. We had a few weeks ago our race in Monaco, which Stoffel won, and then we headed off. Nick and I were actually in Miami for the Formula One Grand Prix. Then I had the privilege of attending Sapphire now in Orlando,
really?
Following that, and then Berlin this last weekend. So it's been a lot of travel over the last weeks, but it's at the end of the day, it's great fun, and we're very lucky to be doing what we're doing. So I don't feel too sorry for me.
Okay, cool. All right. During the keynote, you mentioned, of course, the partnership between SAP and the Mercedes team. Can you maybe elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, long gone are the days when motorsport sponsors simply paid some money to have a sticker on the car. Partnerships really have to add value in both directions. And we're very lucky to have SAP on board. In fact, they were a founding partner of the team and started working together with us some 3.5 years ago now.
From scratch?
It's been brilliant. They're our business performance partner, and what that means is that behind every successful racing team, it's not just about the engineers and the drivers and the mechanics, although they're very important. You've got to have a business behind them that functions beautifully, and SAP has very much been a great support in making sure that we can get that box ticked as well.
Yeah, okay. You mentioned that you're using data. I guess everybody thinks about using data on the car and to measure all with the sensors and to improve the performance. Maybe first step into that. How do you use all the data to, for example, inform the driver during his race?
Yeah, as you rightly say, it's very data driven. We have a certain amount of energy that we're able to use every race, so 52 kilowatt hours. And how you use that energy, how you deploy your strategies is crucial to how you perform on track. So we're very much data driven. That means that the communication between the driver and the engineers is of paramount importance. We have to process that in real time, and we rely heavily not only on the expertise and the experience of our engineers, but also on the systems and the tool sets that we have behind that as well. So data is something that is an intrinsic part of our setup of our team, and is at the heart of our performance as well. So it's something that we live and breathe.
Yeah. Is there also a different cockpit for the driver than to a regular Formula One car, for example?
Yeah, we have the ability to actually develop our cockpit as we see fit. So the steering wheel that the driver has a huge amount of data on it. Yeah. It always surprises me just how they manage to drive the cars through these sort of city centre streets at such speed, and at the same time look at that data, feed that back to the engineers and so on and so forth. And again, it's something that we've developed through to work with all of our systems as sort of an integral part of the overall ecosystem, if you like, for the team. But yeah, the driver has to have that understanding. We're very lucky to have both Nick and Stoffel, because they're not only very, very quick drivers, but they have the understanding, the intelligence, I suppose, to be able to work together with the engineers. So that's a real asset.
Yeah. So they also read the car during the race.
Very much so, yeah, absolutely.
But then, of course, the whole team behind it.
Yeah, the team plays a crucial role, and that communication is of paramount importance.
Maybe to get maybe a figure, how many people are looking at the data behind the scenes?
We actually have a very restricted team. So one of the things that Formula E tries to do is be as sustainable as possible. And obviously, we're a global motorsport. We fly around the world. So that means that we have a certain carbon footprint. We try to reduce that as much as possible by keeping the teams as compact as they possibly can be. So we only have 17 what we call yellow passes or operational passes, and those are the engineers, the mechanics, the people that are the men and women that are really interacting with the data and touching the car and so on and so forth. And then we have what we call a remote support room back at our base in the UK in Brackley. We have a further 6 engineers working there, again just analysing the data and making sure that we can translate that into any changes that we want to make between the sessions. And the other thing about Formula E, it all happens within the space of one day. So typically free practice 1 is about 7 o'clock in the morning. The race takes place about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you have a very, very short amount of time to actually do that analysis. So the quality of that data, the power of the tools that we have behind to do that analysis is crucial.
Yeah. Very fast. You have to react to the data. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. You also mentioned that you're not only using data for the performance, but also for the sustainability, but also for the ecosystem around you, for your partners. Can you maybe tell a little bit about that?
Yeah, as I say, the team element is one thing, the engineers, the drivers, the mechanics, but at the end of the day, there's a whole company that's set up to enable that team. Looking at the finance departments, IT, the HR functions, and so on and so forth. And SAP played a crucial role in getting us set up for that. So when we actually started the team some 3-4 years ago, we didn't have anything. We didn't have a business. We literally started from scratch, from a blank sheet of paper. So we worked together with SAP to develop our business systems, and very quickly we took the decision to go cloud-based. There were a number of advantages with that, so we went with SAP S/4HANA. We were based in 5 different locations at the time, split in 2 different countries between the UK and Germany. So that flexibility, that adaptability was absolutely key. And I had 2 people at the time who worked on developing those systems together with the SAP team. SAP put 5 brilliant people in place for us. And in the space of 13 weeks, we went from that blank sheet of paper through to actually implementing the systems that we needed to run the business, which was phenomenal. But very important, because we've got an old saying in motorsport that race 1 never moves, and that's absolutely true. So we only had that time frame to be able to get it up and running.
Okay.
SAP took on the challenge, and
the deadline,
and they delivered, and that was really pleasing at the end of the day.
So the partnership worked out for you.
Massively.
Cool. Yeah. And also on the sustainability part, they're using data as well for that. That's what you explained during the keynote. Maybe because it's a totally different set of data, I guess, not for the performance.
Absolutely. I think it's again, this is something that's very close to my heart. As a father of 2, I feel that we have a responsibility to do whatever we can to move things in the right direction in terms of sustainability. So although the sport itself, the series, is doing its bit, they're the first global sport, not just motorsport, but sport in entirety, to have achieved net zero carbon rating from their inception. So they're doing some great work, but we as a team, I think, have a responsibility to do what we can as well. As I mentioned in the keynote, I had the honour of being out at Sapphire now in Orlando, and Christian was up on stage and said, if you can't measure, you can't manage, and that's absolutely true. Yeah. So one of the things we've done together with SAP is to develop this, what we call the sustainability dashboard, and that enables us to input data to that dashboard and then use that data to make improvements within the team. One of our biggest things is travel, of course, the carbon footprint we have through that. So we input our travel data, we then analyse that and take a look at how we can actually plan better in future to make sure that we're as efficient as we possibly can be. And we're now expanding that through to our supply chain as well. So motorsport traditionally is just 100% focused on performance, and I think we've got to be honest, it wasn't necessarily focused on sustainability. We now have to change that. So we're working together with our supply chain, we're educating, and through that data we can actually come up with concrete plans which will enable us to again improve things going forward in the future. So I'm excited about that opportunity, and again it just shows the value of the partnership that we've got with SAP.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Ian, for your story here at the SAP Podcar. Thank you very much, but also very good luck for the rest of the season and winning hopefully again the World Championship in 2022.
Thank you very much indeed. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Okay, thank you.